So you're thinking about buying a home in Plainfield, Illinois. Still, you want to know the good and the bad, the pros and the cons, and everything that's going on in Plainfield before you make your decision. And that's what we're going to discuss today, the pros and cons of living in Plainfield, Illinois. Hi, I'm Kirk Clements. In this Living in the Chicago Suburbs installment, we explore Plainfield, Illinois. We take you through the good and the bad of living in Will County's oldest community. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so you won't miss any of our updates about living in the west suburbs of Chicago. Now let's talk about Plainfield. Plainfield is located about 35 miles southwest of Chicago. It is ranked by Niche in the top 10% of the best places to raise a family in America and number 1 in best places to live in Will County. Plainfield, Illinois sits in both Kendall and Will counties. And of the 2020 census, Plainfield has a population of just under 45,000 and a median household income of just under $135,000. Plainfield's median housing value for a single-family home is $425,000 as of October 2023. So today we're going to review the pros and cons of living in Plainfield, Illinois. We're going to hit on its education system, cultural diversity, community events, the Plainfield Park District, outdoor life, safety, economy, housing, weather, traffic, and property taxes. So some of these are pros, some of these are cons, and some sit on both sides of the ledger. So let's start with the education system. Plainfield School District 202 serves the students of Plainfield with 19 elementary schools, 7 middle schools, and 4 high schools. So we have Plainfield Central High School, also known as Plainfield High, Plainfield East High School, Plainfield North High School, and Plainfield South High School. So Plainfield High School Central has a graduation rate of 93% and is rated a commendable school by Illinois Report Card, while Niche awards them an A- grade. Plainfield East High School has a graduation rate of 96% and is a commendable school and has earned an A grade from Niche. Plainfield North High School has a graduation rate of 95% and is rated a commendable school by Illinois Report Card, while Niche awards them an A. Plainfield South High School has a graduation rate of 92% and is a commendable school and has earned a B+ grade from Niche. Finally, there are 8 private schools serving over 600 students in Plainfield. St. Mary Immaculate Parish School ranks in the top 20% of private schools in Illinois for the largest student body. Some schools rate higher and lower than others, but the education system of Plainfield is one of the many reasons people live here. So let's talk about cultural diversity. We're going to use data from the 2020 census and the 2021 American Community Survey. Rural Population Review breaks down the information in an easy to understand format. So here we go. 90.1% of residents identify themselves as non-Hispanic, of which 68.56% identify as white. 9.44% identify as Asian, 8.26% identify as Black or African American, 3.32% identify as 2 or more races, 0.26% identify as other, 0.2% identify as Native American, and 0.06% identify as Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander. And if 90.1% of residents identify as non-Hispanic, that means 9.9% of residents identify as Hispanic. That 9.9% number breaks down as 5.73% identify as white, 1.99% identify as 2 or more races, 1.94% identify as other, and we also have 0.17% for Native American, 0.05% identify as Black or African American, and 0.02% identify as Asian. Niche rated Plainfield as the 231st community out of 639 communities as the most diverse place to live in Illinois, putting it in the top 37%. And that's a pro in my book. All right, let's talk about community events. Plainfield, Illinois hosts various community events throughout the year, starting with the Plainfield Hometown Irish Parade in March. Cruise Nights is popular with car enthusiasts every Tuesday from the beginning of June through the 3rd week of August. Plainfield Fest in July is always popular with live entertainment, local vendors and crafters, and even a petting zoo. And of course, there's always a farmer's market which runs every Sunday from the beginning of June through mid-September. Plainfield's community event sits on the pro side of the ledger when moving to Plainfield, Illinois. Let's talk about the Park District. Plainfield Park District serves the communities of Plainfield, Bolingbrook, Crest Hill, Joliet, and Romeoville, and it ranks as the 9th largest park district in Illinois based on serving over 100,000 residents. The Plainfield Park District maintains over 90 parks on approximately 1,500 acres, and the Park District operates 64 playgrounds, 2 skate parks, 3 dog parks, 25 basketball courts, pathways, bike trails, and numerous baseball fields, football fields, soccer fields, and softball fields. Canoeing and fishing are popular pastimes in the district, as disc golf, sledding, tennis, and pickleball. The Ottawa Street Pool is a popular location during the summer months, and the Normantown Equestrian Center offers a variety of equestrian lessons and activities. The Plainfield Township Community Center can accommodate up to 100 guests and is available for parties, receptions, and family gatherings. It also has an indoor track and a fitness center. Streams Recreation Center is home to Plainfield Park District's award-winning dance program, offering classes for every single style and discipline. And the challenge course at Bott Park has a timed obstacle course with 8 challenges and a 40-yard dash course. The Plainfield Park District earns an A+ from its residents and sits on the pro side of the ledger of living in Plainfield. Let's talk about outdoor life. Plainfield sits in 2 counties, Kendall and Will. And in addition to all the outdoor activities the Park District provides, each county has a forest preserve. Combined, the preserves have over 22,000 acres. So you have the opportunities to boat, canoe, fish, kayak, and swim. There are also trails for biking, hiking, and running, horseback riding, camping, and geocaching, and walking your dog in an off-leash area are always great ways to decompress and spend time in nature. And so when moving to Plainfield, Illinois, outdoor life sits on the pro side of the ledger. Let's talk about safety. Plainfield's total crime rate per 10,000 people is 56.4. In other words, you have a 1 in 177 chance of being a victim of a crime. And when we break those numbers down further, the violent crime rate in Plainfield per 10,000 people is 11.9, which is a 1 in 840 chance of being a victim of a violent crime. Finally, the property crime rate in Plainfield per 10,000 people is 45.5, which equates to a 1 in 220 chance of being a victim of a property crime. The FBI reports that Plainfield is safer than 72% of the cities and towns in the United States of all population sizes. And that is why safety sits on the pro side of the ledger of living in Plainfield, Illinois. So now let's discuss housing. Earlier, we discussed how important education is to the Plainfield residents. We also discussed the median purchase price for a single-family home as of October 2023 was $425,000. Often, prospective homeowners will have us set up their property search by high school. They want to live in Plainfield, but prefer having their children attend one school over the other, if possible. So let's break down the median purchase price for a single-family home in each of the high schools and break it down over the last 6 months, ending September of 2023. Plainfield Central High School, again also known as Plainfield High School, has a median purchase price of $349,900. Plainfield East High School has a median purchase price of $525,000. Plainfield North High School has a median purchase price of $508,000. And Plainfield South High School has a median purchase price of $379,900. So while housing is robust in Plainfield, it can be considered both a pro and a con, depending upon your pre-approval letter from your mortgage lender. Quality homes are moving quickly throughout the western suburbs of Chicago, including Plainfield. And if you want to have your child attend Plainfield East or Plainfield North, you will be paying more for your home than you would in a similar home in the south or central markets. Let's talk about the economy. Plainfield's unemployment rate is 4.7%, which is lower than the 5.3% reported by Illinois. In addition, the poverty rate is 2.29%, much lower than the 11% reported for Illinois. World Population Review reports Plainfield's average household income as just under $135,000 in 2023. Zippia reports some of the biggest and best companies to work for in Plainfield include Chicago Bridge and Iron Company, Cabo Broadband Communications, Plainfield School District 202, and the Village of Plainfield. So Plainfield's economy has a lower unemployment and poverty rate than Illinois, and that's a pro in my book. Let's talk about the weather. We all get the weather seasons at all times of the year, or it feels like we do. Spring is generally snowy and rainy, and hot and cold. Summer is usually in the 80s and low 90s with very little rain after Memorial Day weekend, unless we consider 2023, where we didn't have much rain at all until the 4th of July weekend, and then it didn't stop. Fall can also have temperatures in the 90s and the 30s, but the rain doesn't disappoint. It rains in the fall. Winters are cold, and it generally doesn't snow until after Christmas, unless it does. We are good for 1 or 2 significant snowstorms per year, and it's common to have a week or two where the temperature is in single digits or below zero. And then we were in the low 30s the following week. You get it if you're from the Midwest. If you aren't, you will. If you want to experience all different types of weather, this rates as a pro. However, if you're tired of the April snowstorm and aren't from the Midwest, I can see where some people will rate the weather as a con. So let's talk about traffic. Traffic in any major metropolitan area is challenging, and Plainfield, Illinois is obviously no different. Find an alternate route when school children are being dropped off in the morning or picked up in the evening. If you work in Chicago and you don't take the Metro, the earlier you can leave, the better. Speaking of Metro, there isn't a station located in Plainfield. Romeoville to the east is probably the closest community to access the Metro. And during any season, Route 59 is a thoroughfare you want to avoid, as is Route 126 and Route 30, if at all possible. Traffic is always a con in my book. Let's talk about property taxes. I know, we have to do it. Property taxes throughout Illinois, including Plainfield, are relatively high. A good rule of thumb is to assume your taxes will be about 2% of the home's market value. Earlier, we stated that the median home value in Plainfield is $425,000. In this example, take $425,000 and multiply it by 2%. Makes your estimated taxes around $8,500 per year. They might be slightly lower, but 2% is a good starting point. So while necessary, I think most people would agree taxes are always a con. So conclusion, these are just a few of both the positives and the negatives to review when considering living in Plainfield, Illinois. Its blend of cultural diversity, entertainment offerings, and proximity to Chicago gives it a unique place among the western suburbs. Let us know your thoughts or questions in the comments below, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share our channel to discover future explorations of what it's like to live in the west suburbs of Chicago. And if you're curious about living in Plainfield or any of the incredible communities in the west suburbs of Chicago, reach out. We'll lay out all your options so you can make a confident decision that's best for you and your family. Thanks again for joining us, and as always, we're here to help, and we'll talk with you soon.